special guy besides your professional current career. Rumor has it that you played rugby for about 15 years professionally and semi-professionally. Is that rumor true?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I was just a big lump that happened to be quite sort of aggressive and rambunctious, and you know, when you're blessed with that sort of genetic profile, you get picked up by rugby clubs at a young age. It was a remarkable experience. I got to sort of travel a lot. I got to meet interesting and very, very compelling people, and you know, I got a lot of lateral learning from it that I think I've been able to carry forward into my commercial career. So it was really compelling.
I can only imagine how special that time in your life has been. As a lump then, who was your most interesting or perhaps most memorable person that you met that maybe left an imprint on you?
I mean, there have been quite a lot. I think the most sort of compelling guy was a guy called Russell Earnshaw, who basically is now in charge of sort of developing England's under-20s and under-18s.
Oh, wow.
But a very dynamic, thoughtful person, super creative, didn't really drive things through a playbook.
Okay.
It was very much, you know, what's the requirement? How do we do this better? And he got us as players to think about it rather than just sort of use traditional and conventional coaching methods, which at the time was quite revolutionary. And it's quite a brutal environment as well. I think when I moved into business from rugby, the transition was quite hard. And it was hard because, you know, whilst rugby teaches you a lot of innate stuff, it actually doesn't allow you to develop as a human being when you're in a professional sports environment. You have people telling you what to wear, where to be, what to eat, what to do with about 80% of your day. So the ability to sort of think for yourself is something that gets a bit lost. I think the other thing that I found about working in business straight out of rugby was the lack of accountability and honesty in enterprise versus the environment that we came from in that rugby environment. It was brutal, it was peer-led. You know, if you messed up, people told you every single day, so you had to be accountable to that. You can't get away with some of that stuff in the work environment. HR gets involved. And I think that was sort of quite an interesting conditioning effect. So if there's one thing that I'm still missing or chasing in my life is that sort of radical candor environment where, you know, you can be completely and brutally honest with people about performance. And, you know, you end up chasing that still.
I think that type of transparency, particularly in leadership, and that authenticity is something that we do see in some of the greatest leaders out there, but it is quite difficult to achieve in a corporate environment. But I have to believe that if we keep going with it, that'll happen. And you also, when you were speaking there, you talked about, I think, an example of leading from the front, which is not just telling you how to do it, but showing you and coming alongside. You also mentioned some things that were challenging in that transition into business. But I imagine being a professional athlete, of course, it takes so much discipline, commitment, really working, you know, no matter what the pain is at times. What were those positive attributes or skills that have helped you as you've come into business, and particularly in sales?
I think it's endeavour, right? More than anything, it's endeavour. Knowing that if you've got a goal, you can find ways to achieve it through hard work. You know, you don't get opportunities to perform at a high level at many things in life, but the one thing that gets you there is knowing that you can put in extra work, do more, lift more, eat better, sleep harder, right? And if you can sort of transition with that mindset into your professional life, then I think you're going to equip yourself. And if we put that acutely into the lens of a sales job, you know, most people start in an inside sales job or an SDR job somewhere. If you're the last person in making that last call, then you're giving yourself the best chance of success. And, you know, I don't think that you can sort of necessarily learn that in a university environment or a school environment. It's either something that you want to do or not do to build a better life for yourself. So.